Hey guys, once again welcome to my stream. It is Friday night and we are once again with our friends from the Legion of Races. Let me just double check. I think I forgot to update the titles of the video. But the problem is the race has started, or rather the qualifying session. Qualifying session has started, which means I have 4.5 minutes to clock qualifying time. There we go. Just very quickly edit the title. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a okay weekend. Happy May Day, Labor Day. Boom. Go. Just give me one more minute. Okay. Alright. So once again, car that I'm not familiar with. This is the Volkswagen Beetle GT3, and again a circuit I'm not familiar with, or rather I have done this circuit in its original, or rather it's clockwise, anti-clockwise layout. This is the clockwise layout, which is very different. You can take the same identical track and run backwards, and then you get a whole different experience, which is what's happening right now. This is my outlap, which will not count for my qualifying time. So I need to clear this as quickly as possible, so I can clock my qualifying time. I had a few minutes of practice earlier, and it's gonna be fun because my qualifying and practice time was not that great. So we shall improve, as they say, along the way. This should be a third gear. I'm quite surprised with this Volkswagen Beetle GT3 or GR3. Because first of all, there's no such thing in real life. And the good people at Volkswagen and Gran Turismo Sport decides, you know what? Why don't we make a cute little race car that looks like a Porsche? So I read some reviews on this Volkswagen Beetle GT3, GR3, and supposedly if you're racing in endurance races on Gran Turismo Sport, this is not a bad option because it's quite frugal, so it doesn't use up too much fuel in an endurance race situation, and handles quite well, assuming the driver knows how to handle it. Okay, so this is my qualifying lap. This is my one and only chance before the race starts in a couple of minutes, which means I should not mess up here. As you can see in the bottom left corner, the faster drivers have already clocked their qualifying timing, which does not add stress to my plate at all. I'm kidding, it stresses me out. I think we're about halfway through the circuit. during the practice session earlier, I clocked a 2-minute and 3-second lap time. It's the best I was able to achieve. Not sure if I can replicate that here. Might be a couple of seconds off. So went wide twice. That's all good. Alright, last couple of corners. I gotta remind yourself that if you're unfamiliar with a car or a track layout, then you might not be the only one. There might be other people who are not familiar with this combination as well. That's positive thinking. Alright, so no 2-minute 3 seconds, maybe 2-minute 6. Okay, so I have qualified with a 2-minute 6-second lap time, which will make it very exciting, I hope. Hi Reg, why do I keep hitting the limiter? Like I said, you know, first time really driving this car in earnest, so still actually learning the braking points, the braking points, the lines for every corner, yada yada yada. So still getting used to it. Now 1 minute to the start of the race, and we're gonna find out very soon how many laps. There are 16 of us participating, which means this room is full. 16. Now earlier this week, I for the very first time tried to race in Race C. If you guys are Gran Turismo sport players, you guys would know Race C is one of the daily race options, which is an endurance format. So you have to manage your tires, manage your fuel, manage your pit stops, and all that, you know, motorsport stuff, which makes it fun and exciting. And I've done 3 of those races this past week. Nothing to shout about because there's nothing to shout about. Okay, so as per always, I believe for the Legion of Races Friday night runs, which is what I'm participating in tonight, it's reverse grid order. So the slowest would start up front, and then the faster guys would start at the back. So I'm starting a third on the grid, which shows, you know, which gives you a bit of excitement, right? Like, oh wow, you're starting a third. Wow, that's awesome. Obviously, that's not the case. Let's get ready for the race. Okay. 8-lap race. Oh. That's right. Bagged out. That is me spitting out, which puts me in third last, which puts me in second last. Which, whoa, way off. There's one chap to my right, slightly behind me. Alright, so 8-lap race, which means there's a possibility that this will be an endurance format, which means we have to change tires, manage our fuel. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. So I guess we do not need to manage our fuel and tires because the setting was not turned, or rather the setting is not available to us. So it'll be 8-lap non-stop. See Moses way up top, leading the pack right now. Awesome stuff. Just making sure that everyone is in line, so I stay at the back. That's another way to positively look at it. And if you go on a driving convoy, you usually have people who know the route very well take the front, lead the pack, and also come at the back of the pack to make sure that there are no strays, which is a good job I'm gonna have right now, so I tell myself. Alright, race leader has already passed to the start-finish line. I am gonna say 15 seconds behind race leader, which will probably stay that way for a while. Now if you guys are bored, don't be bored yet, because after this 8-lap race, this is a one-make race, in case you guys have not realized that. So everyone is driving the same car. We're all in the Volkswagen Beetle GT3, which makes it fair, because, well, it's really down to the skill set of each individual driver. After this, we will be in the GT4 category. Again, we don't know what circuit and what layout and what format the race would be, but it will be in the GT4 category. And based on past experiences with Friday night runs every Friday night, there will be a third race, usually also in GT3. And usually the participants get to vote on the circuit that they want to compete in, which is good. That's my best sector timing yet. Something positive to look forward to. Still haven't mastered this corner. I've done this circuit in reverse orientation a couple of times. So in anti-clockwise, as opposed to right now, which is in clockwise. It's a pretty fun circuit because there are lots of camber corners, long straights for some speed, higher speeds, and technical sections as well. I seem to be slowly but surely catching up to the chap in front of me, which according to PlayStation is 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐿. Just reading out his name, or her name. So I was a couple seconds behind him, now I'm a little bit closer up. Mr. Dr. 𝐑𝐚𝐿 just spun out at the second corner of this circuit, so maybe I can overtake him. And then see if I can hold it. That was close. Slowly climbing up the rank. There we go, a little bit better than before. Gotta stay positive. I think I took that corner a little bit better than the past couple laps. My idea is to improve lap after lap. Obviously. A whole bunch of cars in front of me now. But we got to remember not to be cocky, because we're not even at the halfway point yet. This is only the third lap out of 8 laps on tonight's Friday night runs with the Legion of Racers. On here, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. Very proud to say I now have 82 subscribers on my YouTube. Not sure. There we go. So yeah, subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram if you're not doing so already. If you're watching this on Facebook, then please post up photos onto Nitro Show Off. Just head on to www.nitro.com. Create an account, it's free. Start posting away photos of cars, motorcycles, all this motor powered stuff that turns you on, turns us on. Alright, that was my little commercial bit. As I'm starting to slowly catch up to the back of this group. Let's see, 3, 4 of guys in front of me, which I can see quite clearly. 1.3 seconds behind the car direct. Ooh, they have contact. So from past experience, it's a good idea to stay back close enough so you can overtake when there's an opportunity, but stay back just in case that contact gets a bit too violent and aggressive. They start banging each other out, then you do not want to be caught up in that mix. Right, so that fighting between the two of them seemed to have died down a little bit. Stay in the slipstream. One common mistake for driving, race driving especially, is cars behind would pay too much attention to the car that is in front. That means when the car in front makes a mistake, the car behind would follow through and make the same mistakes. So it's important to keep your eyes on the road. I kind of messed up there. It's a bit of an opportunity. It's okay. Here we go. Up to 13th. He went way over. Oh shit. Come on, come on, come on. Nice and easy, nice and easy, nice and easy. Alright, so lap 5 out of 8. Lost concentration there for just a little bit, and that was all it takes. Back down in 14th. Still not in final position. If you guys watch my earlier streams, you will remember that I refuse to use the word last place because it sounds so negative. So we shall use final position. So it sounds a little bit better and more positive. That way. I am 5.3 seconds behind, but also about 5 seconds ahead of the guy behind me. So I'm actually in a very comfortable situation now. In real life, this would feel like a track day and you kind of own the circuit or own the track because there's literally no one in front or behind you. That is, of course, until someone screws up. Not necessarily me, might be me, but might be someone else. Obviously, for Friday night runs with the Legion of Racers, we want everyone to have a good, fun time. But at the end of the day, it is still racing. And people with a competitive streak will still want to do better than their peers. Now, I don't look it, but I am quite competitive. Okay, now we're down to the last 3 laps. No, 10 laps, yes. So someone made a penalty. 2 drivers ahead of me have penalties. Might be due to contact, might be due to running off the circuit. Doesn't matter. It's an opportunity for me to capitalize as long as I keep it tight and not try to drift. This cute little Volkswagen Beetle. It might be interesting if they actually built this car in real life. I'm now 15 seconds ahead of the guy behind me, which is a very comfortable lead because that allows me a little bit of leeway, and I'm slightly less than 5 seconds behind the car in front of me, which is also important because I do want to catch up. This last 2.5 laps. Let's see what kind of possibilities happen. Two of them in front of me, I believe, have penalties to serve, which means they'll be forced to slow down at the penalty line for a fraction of a second. I braked a little bit too much right there. Easing into the corner. There we go. Last two corners before the start-finish line. Let's bring this into the higher gear so I can accelerate a little bit earlier. So if you look on my right, you can see my lap timings, which are relatively consistent. It's consistent with one another and also consistent with my practice times. Like they say, practice makes perfect. Okay, so the chap in front of me has a 0.3 second penalty, which is 0.3 of a second, which is quite insignificant, but also depends on where the penalty line is. I'm not too sure. I think it's the next straight. The question is whether will I be able to take advantage of that slight slowdown to take the 13th spot out of these 16 competitors tonight. We shall soon find out. This car has 7-speed gearbox. Okay, he just went. Whoa. That was contact twice. I seriously hope that was unintentional. Doesn't matter. Let's contact again. Doesn't matter. Just gotta keep it tight. Hold this position. And that's the end of lap 7, so we're now on to our final lap. Is that easy? Overdid it. So it took me a while to get this 13th position, and I'm not about to lose it on the final lap. He's got another penalty, 0.4 of a second. I'm gonna try to commit any penalties of my own. Already mistakes like that might be costly. Half a lap to go. Now if I finish behind him, but within 0.4 of a second, I believe that 13th position should be mine. A bit of blocking there. Either I overtake or I stay 0.4 of a second behind him in order for me to get his 13th position. Gonna stay 0.4 of a second behind him. That should do it. So I finished in 14th, but he had a penalty to serve, so that did not happen. What the Okay, well, 14 out of 16. Realistically, that was exactly how I qualified. If you remember, if you guys were watching this from the beginning, I qualified in third slowest. So I finished in third slowest, which makes it just about right. Hi, Jared. Yes, Reg, I did not manage to beat number 12. And I believe number 12 was Lu Jibai. But all is good. Okay, now the exciting part is the next race in GT4 category, and we're gonna find out which circuit we're gonna go to. Um, so a couple of days ago, I was talking to my wife, and I said, you know, in between races like that, I need to have some stuff to talk to you guys about. And obviously I could talk unlimited amount of nitro related stuff, which would bore the hell out of you guys, I'm guessing, so let me know. My solution is, oh shite, Mount Paranova. We're going down under to Australia. I cannot do an Australian accent for the life of me. I hate this track. And therefore I have not practiced much on this track. So GT4 category, these are all the GT4 cars I have. It would be awesome if I owned these in real life. Probably not gonna happen in Singapore. So I've watched a lot of Gran Turismo races, right? And a lot of people, especially the Aussies down under, they like to use the Aston Martin Vantage rear-wheel drive car on Mount Panama. Oh my goodness, I cannot pronounce. Okay, let me focus. Let's figure out a car to use. Alright, if you guys are typing fast enough, any recommendation on which car to use? Down under, this is Mount, let me get this right. Panoramic photos, what the hell? Mount Panorama. We basically just, okay, never mind. I'm gonna guess it's BOP, right? So there's balance of performance, balance of power, so weight and power does not really matter so much as compared to whether it's front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, mid engine rear wheel drive, four wheel drive, and also the gear ratios. Let's do the GTR. Okay, tires are racing soft. Let's just go to race settings and take a look at, oh no, it's right there. So 6 lap race. Okay, that's good. Alright, let's put in some practice laps before the race, before the qualifying and before the race starts. Oh, it's night. Beautiful. So this is also home to Bathurst 24 hours endurance race, which is probably one of the most technically demanding races in the calendar for motorsports. And people who race here are pretty mental. It's so weird going from a GT3 car to a GT4 car because immediately you feel like everything's in slow motion. Which is not to say you don't make mistakes, because the chance of making a mistake is even higher. So we're about to, that was the wrong line. So this is up the mountain. Going up the mountain is equally as challenging as going down the mountain because there are a lot of blind corners. Really need to memorize and remember your lines. So I have the map on just to guide me a little bit. And we get to this part where the Map doesn't help, that's where you get a penalty. Boom! Hairpin coming up, there we go. That's the penalty I was talking about. No cutting corners, even if they're unintentional. So overtaking at the top of the mountain is not easy, obviously, because the road's so narrow, right? So you don't have a lot of opportunities to overtake. But obviously the really skilled drivers will be able to do so, especially against a less skilled driver. If I remember correctly, braking at 150. Okay, definitely braking a little bit too early there, which is fine because this is practice. So you want to figure out what some of your braking points are in the car you're driving. So which means I should be able to brake a little bit later as compared to what's recommended. Not sure how long this practice session is going to last for. It's been about 4 minutes and 40 seconds. I think usually about 5 to 10 minutes before the 5-minute qualifying session starts, and then the race, which this time around will be 6 laps. Okay, so braking at 125 was also too early. I've got a car behind me. A little bit better than just now. Of course, by a little bit, I mean just a little bit. So many blind corners. Okay, so here I need to slow down a little bit so I don't pick up another penalty by cutting through that bit on the left. Boom, 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 boom. Seems like the Ferrari behind me also hit the wall. At least I think it's a Ferrari. Looks like a 458 GT3, 4 GT4 to me. Okay, so those are turn 2 corners. There's no alcohol in my coffee, in case anyone was wondering. Alright, so braking at 125 is doable. Just going to clean that up a little bit. And here I think it was slightly after 150. Oh no. Yep, brake way too early. I think it's slightly before or at the 100-meter mark. Okay. So my out lap was 2 minute 31. My second lap was 2 minute 25, but that's also with a penalty that I got from the first lap, the first out lap. So this would be, unless I hit the wall, proper lap. Way too early. So this will be my attempt at a proper lap, to give myself a gauge of what kind of lap time I might be able to expect during qualifying and hopefully recreate during the race. Fastest lap time so far is 2 minutes and 16 seconds. That is so fucking slow. Oh, I just got it. I just got it. So fucking slow. Great name. Seriously, great name. Okay. Based on the fact that he won the last race, I don't think that name fits him. Okay. Still hit the wall there. pin. Should be back down to second gear. Safer to brake early, and at least not hit the wall, so you don't get a penalty. Because those penalties can be very painful, right? Half a second slow down equates to more time being lost, because after that slowdown period you have to regain that speed. This portion is still flat out. 125. 125, gear 3. That could work. And this next one would be a 100-meter braking point. Should be somewhere here. Nope. I think it should be later. Maybe 80 meters or 75 meters. Alright, qualifying starts in 2 minutes, so there we go. That was my best lap so far, which is only 1 second better than a lap with penalty. Till qualifying, and then for qualifying session we have 5 minutes, an out lap and the flying lap, so realistically only one full lap to get your qualifying time done. Earlier this week the Legion of Racers have announced the dates for this year's season. 6 races. 6 circuits. They're all going to be a one-make race, which means everybody uses the same car for every single race. Again, that makes it fair and differentiates the better driver from the not so good drivers. If you need more information, as always, check out www.𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐭. We have all the lowdown and information that you would need regarding this year's season for the Legion of Racers. So there's a car behind me. There you go. He goes sideways. Okay. Here's the qualifying session. Yes, Reg, it is pretty much like a damn square. Unfortunately, it's not. It's more complicated than that. I just saw your post. NSX. We need next V8. NSX. No, I have decided to go with the Toyota 86. Because it's a car I'm kind of familiar with in real life. An old one. I've also driven Group N version race car at 𝐒𝐭𝐫𝐿, so that helps a little bit. The realism between a simulation car and a real car is uncanny. I can tell you that from not just my personal experience, but also from the experience of professional drivers who we have interviewed on Nitro these past few years. And right, so I guess Momo is... oh, he's back. So yeah, the real cars and the simulator cars are very similar, very alike. Okay, now that it's qualifying, but there are cars in front, so you guys can have a better understanding of what I meant earlier about how it's very hard to overtake when you're up top at the mountain, because as you can see, it's cars everywhere. Everybody makes mistakes together. Still not getting this corner done properly. That is not the way to do it. But that was the way I did it. But yeah, you guys saw that little bit earlier. At the top of the mountain, it's very, very challenging to do any overtaking maneuvers. Not impossible, just very, very challenging. I've seen this race. I've not been to Bathurst, so I've not watched this race in real life, but I've obviously watched it many times videos, and it is an awesome race to watch. Oops, sorry about that. And I'm guessing it's an awesome race to race in real life as well. Okay, so that was only the outlap, which means I made a mistake. I should have let the fastest driver pass me first, so as not to affect the qualifying time. So let them pass here. What, that should be on this side. There we go. I will let them pass first, so go for it, go for it. This will affect my qualifying time, but I'm very confident to say that I will not be able to do better. Now there's a difference between being pessimistic and being realistic. And that was me being very realistic and pragmatic. On this circuit, I will not be able to come up top 10 unless major crashes happen and I don't muck up. So obviously in real life then there'll be no such thing, right? Overtake me with your abilities. But here's, okay, let's see if I can get this corner a little bit better. Break much deeper in. Hairpin. There we go, a little bit better than before. 6-lap race about to start in a matter of minutes. Let's see if I can do my 2-minute and 20-something second lap time. So here we go, across the start and finish line. My lap time was 2:24. That's not too bad. I mean, I slowed down for 3 guys to overtake me at the front, at the start, right? Because they're obviously much faster than I am. So 13 out of 15, which means I will be starting the 3rd. Well, considering how 𝐒𝐭𝐴 slow is still running. He's got 2 minutes to finish his flying lap. No idea what it's going to be like. But he won the previous race, right? I think so. Or at least he came up top. Okay. So once again, welcome to my stream. 𝐒𝐭𝐿 here from 𝐒𝐿.com. This is Friday night runs with the Legion of Racers. Find out more about the Legion of Racers, find out more about Friday night runs on www.𝐒𝐿.com. The race season, or the E-League season, starts. Information has been just been released a couple of days ago. There's 6 races happening this year with the Legion of Racers. The first one starts in June, and the circuit and the 1-make race, they're all 1-make races, right? So same car for every single race. The car and the circuits have been announced and the dates have been announced, which means we can start practicing and start training for it. We have about 1.5 months till the first race, which happens on the 12th of June. So I will be practicing the hell out of it. First, let me see, if I remember correctly, the first one was a Mazda Roadster, so it's going to be a lot of practice, because last year I consistently came in second last in all the races, just like how I qualified second last year. So this year I'm hoping to do a little bit better, so maybe maintain in the bottom quarter. Be better than coming in last and second last all the time. But yeah, I mean, if you guys just search for most of these guys on YouTube, right? They all have their own YouTube accounts. 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐭, for example, is well, let me see who's that's number 2. So I'm not too sure who 𝐒𝐭𝐵𝐭 is, but 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐿, Tedson, who's Jaden, no, sorry, Jason. Um, Anyone with the LOR name, look for them on YouTube and look at their videos because they are fast. Okay, I'm starting second on the grid. That's because I have the second slowest qualifying time, which means everyone's going to try to overtake because they're faster. And now that it's race time... Oh wait, I'm in a GTR, not an 86. I made a mistake. I forgot. So this time round, unlike qualifying, I will not be letting anyone pass unnecessarily. Because now it's race time. All that talk about car similarity in real life and in simulator, I thought I was in the Toyota 86 GT4 version, but all this time I was in a GTR. What an idiot. It's funny because I also used to have a GTR. Not the GT4 version, obviously. The road-going version. Now it would explain why this car kept understeering and not oversteering like I would have expected it to. Ooh, someone's talking like a professional. Now that you know the characteristics of the car a little bit better because you get reminded of what damn car you're driving, time to perform a little bit better. Oops. Oh, I earned myself a penalty right there. Okay, this part. You can see in the rearview mirror, all the fast guys are trying to squeeze their way through and overtake. I'm trying very hard not to make it easy for them. Definitely got my slipstream. We're gonna take the inside. Just gotta be cautious not to bang anyone. Oh, fuck. Well, I got hit. Everybody got hit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hit right there by the black Ferrari. I think it's a black Ferrari. Okay, here we go. Second lap. Out of 6. 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐭 is behind me. What a name. I think the name of the year award goes to 𝐒𝐭𝐵𝐭. Okay, so braking at the 125-meter mark is still too early. Let's see if I could stay close enough to watch the battles that are sure to unfold in front of me. Can you imagine driving this in real life? Especially at night, right? All the G-forces, blind corners, boom, smashing the wall, scraping your paint. That's Mr. 𝐒𝐭𝐵𝐿 there. under. So once again, I'm very consistent. I am third last, I think. And like before, let's try to lower that number. First thing to do is not to make mistakes, not to hit the wall, not to hit the curbs, I'd rather go over and fly off the curbs. That was the end of lap 2. That's all I'm saying. Got 4 laps to go. Yes, I need to count in Cantonese. That's my mother tongue. So sometimes when people ask me, oh, Hong, what's your cell phone number? I need to do a mental translation from Cantonese to English or Cantonese to Mandarin, because that's how I memorize numbers, that's how I count. Except for math, which I freaking hate. Because math makes no sense to me. Even though it makes a lot of sense to people like who are like accountants or auditors, but I hate math. Absolutely hate math. Gotta thank the people who invented the calculator. Alright, we're back up top of the mountain. Still the G-by is still kind of visible in front of me. So close to getting a penalty there. Oh, finally cleared that corner without hitting the wall. Woohoo! Now let's see if I can clear this hairpin without hitting the wall too. There we go, much better. Should be able to carry a little bit more speed into that corner. Alright, doesn't matter now because Dr. Dasyat Rasyat, who is in 10th, and in 11th is Mr. Luke G-by. They're 2 directly in front of me, and they would be competing with one another very soon, if not already. So halfway through the race, which means I should, as always, take advantage of it. And there we go, Luke G-by has left the course, probably due to contact. It's a good time for me because after 4 laps, I am starting to feel a little bit more confident about myself, this car, on the circuit. Which means he made a mistake for trying to look back when I should have shifted gears. He's going to take the inside. Probably a safe choice because I might bump into his rear. See if these last couple of laps could be incident-free for myself. More than glad to see incidents happen in front of me. So evil. That's the way it is. Racing is a zero-sum game. You either win or you lose. There is no in-between. I didn't hit no walls, yo! So serving his penalty right there, you see him slow down. last lap was 2 minutes 20 seconds, which is better than my qualifying and practice sessions. Four-wheel drive goes off-road. We're now down to our second last lap. Here we go. This is the start of lap number 5. Definitely need to carry more speed into that corner. So he's got my slipstream, so very soon he should be able to cut to my right and take the inside lane for this corner. Or bump into my bump, partially because I brake earlier than he did. Not to my disadvantage because it was still a straight line. There we go. Better. Not good enough. That should be a flat out corner. Ooh, so tight. There's a yellow flag incident in front of me, which means someone must have bummed out. Got distracted there again. So I'm being flashed by 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐭 behind. And the flashing has stopped. So fastest lap time has been achieved by 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐿. 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Holy crap. Every time the car in front goes onto the dirt, kicks up a dust cloud, which makes it almost impossible to see. Nighttime racing conditions. Alright guys, that was the end of lap number 5, which means we're into our final lap. There we go, bringing in more speed into the corner than I did before. So the race is on for 10th. Probably be between the doctor in front of me, myself, and 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐿 behind me. Not sure what happened there. I think it was a little glitch. Oh, it's not too good, is it? GTR, more power, more power. Not the fastest sector. Oh, he got himself a 0.5 second penalty. Okay, shut the hell up and focus. Okay, I've taken 10th spot because of that penalty he had. I think it was running wide and going over some restricted bits, which puts me in 10th. 1 minute to go before the end. This is the last lap, so I must not mess up. He did. I think he overshot. Got into the gravel, so I'm into my last corner. Oh, finally a decent result. I may say so myself. Sort of. Hey, top 10, you get points if you're watching this, if you're a Formula 1 fan or a MotoGP fan. Oh, and I clocked my fastest lap time ever. 2 minute 19, which makes me 6 seconds slower than so fucking slow. But yeah, top 10. I'm happy. Let me just double check if this is running properly on YouTube. I believe it is. Yes, it is. Change the name of the title. Okay, that's the end of the second race. Usually, oh, I finished 9th. That means someone in front of me had a penalty and got kicked down to 10th. Awesome. Alright, end of second race. There should be the possibility of a third race. Either that or they're gonna close the lobby. Good evening. Hi. Thanks for the race. Go. So yeah, usually there is an internal vote within the lobby and we get to choose where we want to race next, and usually the last race. There we go. I am gonna vote for this one because this is the one that I'm training on right now, the Kyoto Driving Park, and I'm the only one to choose that. Oh no, wait, So Fucking Slow has selected that as well. So there are 2 votes for Kyoto, 2 votes for Dragon Trail, 3 votes for Dragon Trail. So I'm guessing it's gonna be Dragon Trail again. Yes, it is. Okay. At least it's something that most of us are familiar with. Six-lap race. This should be GT3, right? Why is it still GT4? Really? We're doing GT3? Let me just ask. Oops. GT3 would be better. So yeah, once again, welcome. This is another Friday night runs with the Legion of Racers. More information, www.𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐭. Basically every Friday night at 10:30 p.m. Singapore GMT +8 timing. We spend about 1 hour bringing people together. By we, I mean Legion of Racers, not Nitro. But Nitro is the official media for the Legion of Racers. 2 laps. Reverse grid, N300. Oh, this would be interesting. I'm probably gonna go with the Supra. N300 is a very, pretty much stock category. Alright. Let's just go for some practice races, practice laps. It's a 2-lap race. And did I change my tires? They're all on hard compound. So once again, going from GT3 down to GT4, now in N300, which is stock car category. Cars feel so much slower, which is also interesting and fun, right? Because your braking lines are different, your braking markers are different, your turning lines, your lines, your racing lines are different. Got this. alongside the 1997 Toyota Supra. One of the few cars that made the Supra brand, rather the Supra badge, its own brand. So the earlier Supras were cool and awesome and interesting and fast for their time, but it was this Supra that really made the badge iconic. I intended to drift into that corner, obviously. So I think it was 2 weeks ago when this was the circuit for the daily races in race B in GT3. Not in this N300. I'm going to change cars. Might as well have some fun. Where is it? Oh, I don't have that car. Okay. Alright. NSX it is. Change the tires. Traction control switched off. There we go. Still 10 of us. Sounds so much better. Coasted a little bit too long there. Starting to think maybe a 4-wheel drive option might be more ideal for this circuit as compared to a rear-wheel drive supercar eater. Alright, like I said earlier, 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐭 has clocked the fastest lap time of 2 minutes 1 second. He is indeed a very fast driver. So is so fucking slow. Trying a new audio level this weekend or today, so I'm actually not very sure if you guys can hear me. Sliding into the last corner. Might look good in the replay. So that's my out lap, and now for an actual practice lap. Let's see what kind of timing I do in this iconic and already a classic Honda NSX. Off to a very good start. Race starts in 1 minute. Whoa, airtime. Sorry, did I just say airtime? was not what I meant. So... brake earlier and take the turn a little smoother. Alright, we're gonna start this 2-lap race in the next few seconds. This is the N300 category, which basically means stock cars with up to 300 horsepower. Front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, and 4-wheel drive. This should be the last race with the Legion of Racers tonight. So I'm starting in 6. Here we go. Too much wheel spinning right there. So much bumper cars going everywhere. Everyone bumping into one another. So NSX obviously has good straight line speeds. Given its aerodynamic and weight balance, it will want to understeer or get hit by someone. A little bit more than I would have liked. That car in front, that's my favorite GTR. Whoa, 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 whoa. All over the place. Some glitch going on there with so fucking slow. Seriously, what a name. If there's a name for PSN nickname for the year, this guy. Whoa. Yep, definitely some sort of glitch. As you can see. Might be network, might be server. Hard to tell. Now you can see from my face I'm not very enthusiastic about this because I'm not a big fan of racing or playing Gran Turismo sport in categories other than GT4 and above. Partially because, well, personal preference. If you ask me, a racing game needs to have a lot of excitement. Not to say that there are no excitement. I mean, if I were a better driver, I'll be up top with the guys in front. But maybe it's the speed, maybe it's the pace, you know what? Let's go for it. Whatever. Can't be bothered. yeah, so I very much prefer if we're doing GT3 or GT4. So that was my bad, because I obviously slowed down way too much. Check out the Evo drift. Alright, that's the end of it. 2-lap race. It's really quite boring. Anyways, I'm not sure if there's going to be any more races, but I'm going to assume that that would be the last race for tonight. Now I am going to start practicing. Like I mentioned earlier, guys, earlier this week, the Legion of Racers have announced the calendar for this year, the 2020 season for the Legion of Racers. 6 racers. First race starts in June, and all 6 races are one make race, which means for all 6 races, it will be the same car. Well, different car per race, but it'll be the same car for everybody. And I'm gonna start training. I'm gonna start practicing because I'm sick and tired of being second last. So maybe this year I'll aim for third last. Kidding. Obviously, we'll aim for higher points. Thank you for watching. 𝐒𝐭𝐿 here. Remember to follow me if you're not already doing so on Instagram. Subscribe to the channel on Twitch and on YouTube. When you're free, check out 𝐒𝐿𝐼.com. Peace out.